So a lot of times carbohydrates get a bad rap. People blame carbohydrates for their weight gain, for their ability to not be able to lose weight. But in reality, it's not the carbs that's a bad thing. It's the quality of carbs that is determines if it's a good or bad intake of food. So in this video, I'm going to basically highlight the good, healthy sources of carbs and the bad, unhealthy sources of carbs. So let's start off with the bad sources of carbs. So our negative sources of carbs come from what we call simple carbohydrates. These are carbohydrates that have very little nutrient density, which is basically nutrients per calorie. They're called simple carbs because of how fast your body digests them. Digest them at a very rapid pace, which causes you to be hungrier at a quicker pace, which leads to overeating, weight gain, which leads to all the health effects of those conditions. So we want to stay away from simple carbs, so such as white bread, white rice, processed foods, anything enriched or refined pastas. Just pastries with just nothing but pure sugar in them and no other nutrients. These are the carbohydrates we want to stay from. These are low quality carbs. These are carbs that cause us to, eat at a higher intake than what we need to because we're not getting that nutrients we need from our intake. So we want to switch to what we call complex carbs. Complex are your healthy sources of carbs. So these carbs are digested at a much slower rate when you consume them. So this causes you to feel full for a longer period of time, which will lower the amount of times you crave to eat. It will help you to control your eating habits and just have good overall balanced eating intake. So sources of complex carbs would be, your whole grains, your oats, your quinoas, your sweet potatoes, your russet potatoes, your fruits, your vegetables, things of this nature are complex carbohydrates. So whenever you're consuming your diet, you want to make sure you stay away from simple carbs, consume complex carbs. And that will help you to balance your calorie intake, make sure you're getting in that right nutrients. So it really comes down to, identifying what foods you're eating that are, having those empty calories and those empty carbs. So if you like to eat PB&J, maybe go from eating white bread to whole grain bread. If you like to eat a lot of spaghetti, maybe go from eating refined pasta to whole grain pasta. Maybe try out some new vegetables. It's always good to get those good antioxidants and the nutrients from those vegetables. So make sure that you're getting that quality of carbs because carbs are important for a lot of different functions in our body. They help us with digestion, they help our hearts, our kidneys, our muscles, our brain, the initial central nervous system. So carbs are very important. So don't think that carbs are the enemy. It's the quality of carbs that determines the benefit to your